start.
All right, we're ready. I'll entertain any questions you guys have.
Stan, what's the status of EJ?
He's day to day. He's kind of going through concussion protocol right now. So.
When did that first happen? When did you first learn about it?
Well, he got in the protocol last Sunday, and those things are pretty tricky. Sometimes the symptoms go away quickly, depending on the person. Sometimes they linger. He overcame a lot of the symptoms that he was experiencing and couldn't overcome them all. So it was in his best interest for him not to play, and that became a midweek decision.
What does he kind of have to do what does he have to pass a test or something to?
Yeah, there's a series of tests that they go through in concussion protocol.
Was he evaluated on Saturday during the game, Stan, or was it something you guys just noticed more on Sunday?
No, we knew that he wasn't going to be able to play by midweek.
No, I'm saying last Saturday against UTSA, was he evaluated during the game?
No, it was Sunday. He didn't feel anything during that game on Saturday and was good to go, and woke up the next morning on Sunday and wasn't feeling too good.
Will Quincy start if EJ can?
If he can't, yes, Quincy will start.
What was your evaluation of him after you watched the film?
I think we got off to a good start. North Texas jumped out on us, scored the first series, and we played into Quincy's strengths as an offense, and he played well that first series on offense that we had, found a way to score. The second series on offense, we were struck by a couple of penalties that threw us off schedule, and we were forced to punt, and North Texas took advantage of that and scored again. And by the second quarter, our third series, again, we were pretty much on schedule, and kind of the trait of who we are. If we're on schedule, we can find ways to get the ball in the end zone, and we did. We made a 21-14 point game in that second quarter. I thought he managed the offense well at times, and as the game playing on, we just couldn't sustain it. There was a couple of obviously we had some sacks. You see a sack and you want to blame it on the offensive line. There were a couple of opportunities there where we had to adjust the protection that Quincy did miss. So he didn't put himself in good position on one of those sacks for sure. And got behind the score and had to throw the ball a little bit, and we completed some, dropped a few, and we had a couple of bad throws, and so we just couldn't find the consistency in the throw game. And but outside of that, I thought the kid put out good effort, made good decisions early, played with his feet really well, so he's a veteran. It wasn't his first rodeo. He's been out there before. He's been a starting quarterback in his career prior to being here. And, from a mature standpoint, a guy not getting rattled, I thought he did okay.
Stan, if you had to make a change beyond him for whatever reason, is it Forrest and Tyler kind of battling it out there, or is there a clear backup?
Yeah, I'd say it would be Tyler. I'm sorry, Forrest next, Tyler after that.
What have you seen just specifically from both of those guys as you've had through practice and as they've had to get more work over this last week or two?
Well, they're in their position where they are right now for a reason. There's still some development that needs to take place. There's not a question of knowing the offense. I think they both know it really well. I think Forrest has come the furthest in regards to, just throwing the ball with more consistency, more confidence. It's not all the way there yet, but he's probably the next one that will manage the offense outside of Quincy at this point, the best.
This season you've had a lot of fourth down chances, especially early in the second half against North Texas. Can you talk about how you guys have been executing those fourth downs the last couple of weeks?
Well, not very good, right? That's what it says. But we're an offense. If you study Coach Drayton, I've always been aggressive on fourth down. Even a year ago, it's just who we are. I don't believe that we can stand still and play conservative football right now and expect to have the success that we want right now. So we take chances, and this is something that we practice. We talk about as a football team that there's going to be chances that we'll take on fourth down, manageable situations, especially when you're behind the clock a little bit. And our defense, I thought, responded really well. The second time we called it on 4th and 5 on the minus 40. The first time we had a 4th and 2 situation, and we didn't execute well on offense, and they had an explosive run 2 plays later, which we were in position to make that play and didn't make that play. But my history is to be an aggressive coach, and I think our players are respect that. They are prepared for that, and they expect that to happen during the course of the game. And when you're underdog, you're trying to find ways to win the ball game. As long as you're practiced and prepared for those situations, it doesn't surprise us to do those things.
Stan, how would you evaluate your defense? Everything that goes into it, injuries included, 7 games in, how would you evaluate how the defense is played?
Well, we've struggled. That's the obvious. We've struggled. We've missed 21 tackles in this last ball game. We had 2 opportunities to intercept the football, didn't come up with it. We forced the ball on the ground, forced 2 fumbles on the ground, and the ball didn't bounce our way. We didn't recover those as well. But you look at the third quarter of that game, it seems like our defense was starting to settle in a little bit, and they flash, that they can be a decent defense. We just hadn't been able to put it all together. And when you're not playing complementary football, it becomes a little bit of a pressure situation for both sides of the football, so it is what it is right now. We can sit here and talk about injuries and all that good stuff, but it is what it is. We got guys that are trying to play, trying to execute the way we're asking them to execute. I think that fundamentally we can be much better. I think our pad level is really high, and we're not doing a great job of getting off blocks, but that is something that I know our players are capable of doing. I know we're better than what we are executing and showing right now.
What did you see of Kevin Terry after having the chance to watch some film of him going in when he needed to go in?
Solid job. He did a nice job. He had good effort. Didn't make a whole lot of mistakes. He lost a couple here and there. One more than he lost, and that's a true freshman that hadn't played a whole lot of football. That on that stage he's not flinching. So very promising future for us.
If Rich can't go Saturday and you did slide Bryce over, would you feel confident starting Kevin at left tackle and moving Luke over to left guard again?
Yeah, we don't have many options, buddy. We're going to put out there the guys who practice their butt off and have prepared to play, and we're working down our roster completely right now. So.
What was early in the game? It was 7-7. You had the option to take a 3rd and I think it was 3rd and 19 or 4th and 7. You went with the 3rd and 19, then they hit the big pass. Were you thinking they were going to kick the field goal there or go for it?
Yeah, they have a very good kicker, and pre-game, that's what you study, right? You see what the opponent's kicker range is, right? And he was right at field goal range, so I was in the mindset of taking points off the board, keeping points off the board.
Stan, are there more guys like Kevin on either side of the ball, whether it's a freshman or a redshirt freshman, guys that are on the cusp of really starting to push for more playing time, guys that are starting to come around that you're seeing development with?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Like, are there other guys like Kevin Terry on either side of the ball, like a freshman or a redshirt freshman, or any sort of new guy that's like starting to turn the corner and you see, okay, I can start counting on this guy this week or next week?
They're playing. They're already playing. The Zael Powells and the Sweetings have already played a lot of football for us, and they're getting those opportunities. So they all have to be ready. Just as we learned during the course of the season, like the road can be rugged. For us, injuries has been our potholes, and so at any given point in time when we recruit these guys, we tell them that prepare to play. I told them that I don't have a problem playing freshmen. Sometimes you're forced into that issue when they're not quite developed and ready to do that, but for the most part, all of our young guys have a really good mindset. They are very intentional about their development. Are they strong enough? Are they experienced enough? Probably not, but when they're forced into that situation, we can't let that be an excuse for them. nor us as a coaching staff. So they all have to be prepared to play.
From the defensive side, I mean, from the preparation, the game planning, the game calling, the schemes, I mean, you still feel really good about the process? You're just not seeing the results?
Yeah, it's hard to judge when you know that, you see film and you see guys in position to make that tackle. I mean, 21 missed tackles. That has nothing to do with scheme. Not getting off of blocks has nothing to do with the scheme. Okay. Now, if you see guys that are, misfitting runs and, not knowing what they're doing, then yeah, you challenge the coaching piece of it, but, schematically, I believe in what we're doing. I don't believe that we're doing what we're coached to do at a high level from a fundamental and technique standpoint. And you judge that when that starts to show up in the execution better. And if all of a sudden we are doing the fundamentals and the techniques at a high level and the system's still not working, then it's time to, pivot and try to figure it out. But we're not at that point yet. We still haven't played with great fundamentals and technique, and we got a lot of MAs that are taking place, and we got guys in position at times that are struggling to make plays, and for whatever reason, so that's not a system issue.
Are you seeing it more this year as opposed to last year, or is it about the same in terms of like the not getting off blocks and missed tackles?
I mean, where did we rank last year? I think we were ranked 100 and something in the run game a year ago, right? Yeah.
You watch SMU on the offensive side. What kind of stands out about them?
They play really good football on all three phases. They're a very, very talented football team. They have really good personnel on all sides of the football. The quarterback throws a deep ball really well, and he's got receivers that can go get it. He's got a running back, number 4, who really hits the seams, and he has a fifth gear that's different than what we've seen so far, in my opinion. Defensively, they're not very complicated. Very similar to our style of defense, really 4-down structure, and but they play hard. They do a great job of getting off blocks, and everybody seems to know what they're doing. They're all tied to a string, and they play great team defense, and it's going to be a huge challenge for us for sure.
Which group or unit do you think is going to have the biggest challenge this week?
On my football team?
Yeah.
Again, all of us. We have not played a complete game of complementary football all season long. So that is the challenge. It's for us to get on the same page. It can't be offense one quarter, defense one quarter. It can't be that. And then we have to eliminate the demotivators, the 4 sacks, the 3 interceptions, and the missed tackles. I mean, that stuff has to disappear. So I think it's a total team deal that we have to really focus our improvement on.
Does playing one day earlier change anything in your preparation?
It is what it is, and we had to probably take a little bit off of them yesterday. It kind of shortened it down a little bit from a time standpoint, but we still have to get our system implemented for this week, and as far as practicing with pads, taking pads off, all that pretty much stays the same. Yeah.
How's Ian Stewart doing?
Ian Stewart?
Yeah.
He's getting much better.
Does he have a chance of playing again this season?
Absolutely.
Okay. What about Rich Rodriguez? Is he day to day as well, or?
Yeah, he's day to day.
What does he go through on a weekly basis? I mean, I feel like he's just been playing through pain ever since he got here. You can see it in games where he's constantly getting up and kind of just fighting through that. What is it like just managing in that, and how have you seen him respond to that?
He's a tough kid. He really is, and he's frustrated. There's no doubt about it. One thing that you get in Rich Rod is he a guy that has to practice all the time from a mental standpoint? No, but the fact that we are constantly, starting from ground zero with the ankle and building it up to get it ready for game, game day it's a tough process. It does wear on that individual from time to time, and but if he can go, he's gonna go, and we know what we're gonna get. It's just you'd like to have him the whole entire time, but you don't call plays worried about that. And when you have a guy like Rich Rod out there, he's going to tough it out if he can go. If he can't go, then we have to always be ready to midstream adjust.
Talked about the UTS game seeming like a step forward. I mean, did this feel like a step back this week?
Just in the execution standpoint. I mean, again, 21 missed tackles, right? I thought that leading up to UTSA, we were struggling to, give ourselves a chance on defense to take away the football from the opponent, and we had 4 opportunities that, we just, created for ourselves and didn't execute. But just to see the tackling piece and then not getting off a blocks piece, that wasn't the direction that we, wanted to go in as we move forward. So those are things that we're putting that focus back on. Not that we hadn't focused on it, but our players have really got to, bring their fundamentals and techniques to the game. I think that it does get to a point where they start pressing. They really want to win, guys. They really want to win, and sometimes when you got guys out there that don't have the experience, their effort tends to leave fundamentals behind, and we got to be able to put the effort along with the fundamentals and technique. That's how you get better, and so it's a constant learning process for us.
What's the sense of the confidence and morale? Do you think they're shaken, or do you feel like they feel like they're going to go out there and put it all together in the next game?
I know that, again, this team does not like to lose and had great energy out there in practice today. I mean, obviously, when you're raising young men, all right, and when they spend so much time in this building, I know you guys want to hear about results, and, I know we're playing a football game here, but in life, right? In life, you can work really hard at something and still not get what you want, and if you have the will to continue to fight for it, then at some point it is going to shine for you. And I do feel like I have a team that is willing to fight. All right, so it helps to win a ball game here to try to get the rewards, but I know my players are constantly going out there and working their butts off, so that shows me that they're in the fight, and I can live around players, around coaches, around supporting staff, around people who believe in the fight piece of it. We're on a journey. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not, and if you lose that bite about you, you're destined to lose. Okay. And, I have full confidence in the mindset that we're creating here, that we'll endure this. At some point, this is going to be a special thing around here. All right. And, I'm going to remember these conversations because I use them as fuel, and I'm going to teach my players to use it as fuel. But in the process of it, we're going to fight, and we'll get better from it. I promise you that.
When did you know Dewan was going to be in the portal? Was that something that he's been thinking of?
No, Dewan has been battling with that thought process for a while. He's a good kid. It wasn't an easy transition for him. He's had a tough career all around from the time he left Detroit to go to Georgia. It's been a rough go for him, So, I think that's a question for Dewan in regards to why he finally decided to do what he did. But, I respect his decision. He told us yesterday exactly when it kind of went public. And I respect that decision. He appreciated everything that we did for him here, and I don't have a bad thing to say about Dewan Mathis.
Okay, one last one. Stan, you have so many big role models, people in big situations, been in NFL, been in college. When you're going through a stretch like this as a coach, where your just process is there and you're just not getting the results, do you have people that you call or experiences that you look back on to say, okay, how do I get through this? I know playing is playing, but are there certain people that you call on and say, how did you get through this? How do you kind of work through it too, beyond the coaching?
Great question. You want the real answer?
Sure.
My faith. God. He promised me one thing, that it wasn't going to be easy. All right, and I'm prepared for that. You don't have a man that's defeated in front of you. All right, you have a man that's keeping the faith. I have in my heart, and I have a desire to raise young men. I have a desire to put them in situations where they're going to be successful. And football has been my vehicle to do that for a lot of young men, okay? And I've endured some tough times before, you know, and I've come out the other side. So I'm encouraged by that, you know, so I'm going to keep my faith and stay true to what's on my heart, you know, and believe that, you know, what I'm going through is making me a better man, making us a better football team, you know, getting men prepared for real life, all right? And when we overcome this, man, we're going to really enjoy it. So that's my mentor, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you.